What's up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the Jay Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Last week we did a theme, so obviously this week we're doing horror battles, and the two films I chose to battle are two mainstream horror films that everyone is familiar with. These are two of my personal favorite horror films, definitely in my top 5. And yeah, it's going to be a very hard battle because I love both of these films a lot. So I'm going to be battling the Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, so before we dive into the battle, I'm going to be reviewing both of these films very briefly. These films really need no description to read. If you don't know what either of these films are about, you really need to check them out. I mean, these are two of the most classic horror films ever made, up there with Halloween, Psycho, Friday the 13th. I mean, these are two mainstream horror films that every horror fan should have at least seen once by now. But I will review both of these films, like I said, very briefly. I won't give anything away, just in case you haven't seen it for some reason. I won't give anything away in my review, so I'm going to review them very, very briefly, and then I will battle these two films to the death. Okay, guys, so I'm going to start off by reviewing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, seeing as it was made first. It was made in 1974, and it was directed by Tobe Hooper, and it's basically about these 5 friends, Sally, Franklin, Kirk, Jerry, and Pam, who are making their way through Texas. And Sally and Franklin are going to see their grandfather's house. They're going to their grandfather's house, and along the way they run into this hitchhiker. And you know, nowadays, not a lot of people pick up hitchhikers. It's very dangerous. You don't know who's getting in the car. And not saying that all hitchhikers are bad, but it's really not a smart thing to do. Back then, you know, those issues didn't occur. It wasn't applied. You know, it was just like, oh, let's pick him up. Let's give him a lift. Nothing bad's going to happen. Well, they soon realized that that was a big mistake. The guy they pick up is very creepy and very weird, and he starts doing very crazy and awkward things in the back of their van, to the point where they actually have to kick him out. But little do they know that is not the last time they will be seeing the hitchhiker. Soon they will meet his weird, sadistic, cannibalistic, serial-killing family. That's all I'm going to say about this film, just in case there are people out there who has never seen it and is watching this review. I don't want to spoil it for you. I know almost every horror fan has seen it, but just in case, I don't want to spoil too much. So, now I'm just going to be telling you guys, you know, what I like about this film, what I think about this film, and just my overall opinion. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite slashers, one of the best slashers ever made. I love the dirty, gritty film style. That's something I've always loved about it, something I've never been able to get in any other horror film. The direction, but I can't speak. The directing was spot on. The acting was spot on. You could definitely tell the cast went through hell filming this movie, especially with the credit that they got after doing it. That would really make me mad. You know, you felt like you were with the cast in the heat. You did not want to be there at all, especially the ending scene when they had to black out the windows and board up the house. It had to be at least 115 or 120 degrees in there, so that looked like it really sucked. Especially, like I said, the the credit it got afterwards, after filming, after it hit theaters and after it was released. It got banned by churches for many years. It was universally hated. Not a lot of people liked it, but it finally started to get credit, and it's been a classic for so many years now, since before I was born. But I absolutely love it, and that's basically all I got to say about it. Also it having Leatherface in there, one of the most iconic horror killers in all of horror, in all of horror films. He's just so iconic. Gunnar Hansen played him so well, just by his movements. Really, he doesn't talk in the film, but by his movements, you really felt sorry for him at times. You felt like he was just a kid in a man's body. And I just love this film, guys. There's nothing much I can say about it other than what's already been said. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. Like right now. Go buy it, rent it, order it, whatever you have to do. Pick this film up. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Definitely check it out. Next, I'll be reviewing A Nightmare on Elm Street, and this film was made in 1984. It was directed by Wes Craven, starring Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, and Johnny Depp. And this is an absolute classic as well. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? If you're a horror fan, you need to watch this movie. It's basically about these kids who live on Elm Street, and they're starting to die off. They're starting to go to sleep and never wake up, and it's soon revealed that they are dying in their sleep. Someone is killing them in their dreams. And we follow Heather Langenkamp's character, Nancy, who is one of the kids on Elm Street who is going to try to fight for her life. She's not just going to go to sleep and lay down and die. She wants to figure out who is doing this, and she realizes they're all having the same dream. They are dreaming of this man who is badly burnt with a claw on his hand, calls himself Freddy Krueger. And he has no motive. She wants to figure out how to kill him, how to get rid of him, and why he is doing what he is doing. And she does find out. Just in case, I'm not going to spoil anything, but this is another one of those, like I said, absolute classics, guys. The acting was amazing. Directing by Wes Craven, he did an amazing job. Definitely his best film, in my eyes, my favorite Wes Craven film. The only film in the series that really takes itself seriously, 110% serious. It doesn't have all that comedy in it like the other sequels got. And don't get me wrong, I love the sequels. I love some of the sequels, or some of them I don't like at all. But this is the best one out of the franchise, no doubt, in my mind. Robert Englund, oh my God, he owns that role. He is Freddy Krueger. Jackie Earle Haley is not Freddy Krueger. It's Robert Englund. He really did an amazing job by really crafting it over the years and making it his. And this is it's another one I can't speak. It's another Nightmare on Elm Street film that is very creepy at times. The other ones are very funny, have a lot of comedy, horror comedies, a lot of them are in a way. But this one's very creepy at times, and the acting, really good. Like I said, once again, Johnny Depp, his debut in this one. Heather Langenkamp did an amazing job as Nancy. I wouldn't have picked anybody else to play her. She is a great scream queen up there with Jamie Lee Curtis. That's basically all I can say about it. It's just a classic. If you haven't seen it, which I know most of you have, definitely check out A Nightmare on Elm Street. So, let's dive into the battle, guys. Round 1, body count. Now, I did some research, and both of these films actually have the exact amount of kills. This one has 5, this one has 5. I hadn't seen them in a little bit, and I couldn't really pinpoint off the top of my head the exact amount of kills, so I researched it, and they both have 5 kills apiece. So this really comes down to which ones I prefer. Let's see what I'm going to go with here. The time difference is another thing to look at. This was made in 1974. This was made in 1984. This one had little to no blood in it, and this one, was really starting to experiment with blood, guts, and gore. If you look at films back from the 60s and 70s, horror films, Psycho, Halloween, Black Christmas, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, every film, God, I'm so sorry, guys, I'm getting tongue-tied a lot. Everything that those films have in common is that they have little to no blood, but they really works on that. They didn't need the blood, they didn't need the guts and the gore. So I guess on kills, I'm going to have to go with The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I loved all the kills in this film. I loved all the kills in this film too, but just for my preference, I'm going to go with The Texas Chainsaw Massacre for round 1. Okay, round 2. Let's see what round 2 is. Story and originality, without a doubt, A Nightmare on Elm Street wins this round. I think it's one of the most creative horror films ever made. This had a very generic storyline. At the time, it wasn't. At the time, it was like, oh shit, you know, because this was 74. We hadn't got to see a lot of things yet. So at the time, it wasn't, but now it's been done 100 times. This one's very creative, still holds up, and I mean, it's just an awesome storyline. I think it's very creative. Wes Craven will be one of the only directors to think about a guy actually killing someone in their dreams and make that completely serious. You know, like I said in the first film, is 100% serious. It takes itself completely serious, and he really pulled that off. I don't think a lot of directors could have done that. Could have made, you know, a guy killing people in their dreams seem serious and creepy. So I have to give him a thumbs up for that, as this being one of the most creative horror films. So 1-1. Round 3, Blood, Guts, and Gore. Without a doubt, I'm going to give this round 2 A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I said before, TCM did not have a lot of blood, guts, or gore, so I'm going to give this round 2 A Nightmare on Elm Street. So that is 2-1. Round 4, Personal Enjoyment and Replayability. Without a doubt, I get more enjoyment from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I could pop this bad boy in right now and watch it as soon as I'm done with this battle. So yeah, I've absolutely loved this one, and I do prefer it over A Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's 2-2. Let's go into the tiebreaker here. Which one had better acting and directing? This one's going to be hard because, I mean, they were spot on in both areas, in both films. So, which one had better acting and directing? It's really hard. This one's really hard for me, guys. I got to be honest, because I love both films. I'm going to say better acting, A Nightmare on Elm Street, better directing, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Damn, this is hard because I love both films so much. I'm going to have to say The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guys. It wins this battle for me personally because I love it so much, and it's actually above A Nightmare on Elm Street in my rankings of my favorite slashers. So The Texas Chainsaw Massacre wins this battle for me. Also, like I said earlier, keep in mind this is my own personal opinion. Please don't be hating on me, guys. If you've got a difference or if you've got a disagreement to put it in the comment box below, but do it in a mature and respectful manner. Don't want to get any fights started, but for me, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre wins this battle. And usually I would say The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or whatever film I'm battling, has defeated the other film, but I'm not going to say that today, guys, because both of these are two amazing horror films, and I don't think The Texas Chainsaw Massacre defeated Nightmare on Elm Street. Just for me personally, I like it a little bit more. So there you go, guys. There's my battle over The Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below and tell me which one you would choose. Which one do you like better? Also check out our Facebook and website. I will leave a link in the description below. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.